Dzień dobry, assalamu alaikum, ciao, konnichiwa, bonjour, hola, and happy Christmas Eve. It's nearly Christmas. We're nearly there with the big man. How are you? Welcome again. Ken at 10, the last one of 2022. So the first thing I want to say is thank you to all of our customers, past and present, and all the people that supported us both from a community and charity perspective right the way through to our lovely vendors and clients. Do you know, this week, one of our vendors actually said that we charged them too little and actually requested that we charge them more. I was so proud of that. It was one of those moments when you think, wow, did that really just happen? We did go the extra mile, but if you're watching, thank you so much, Greg. You guys really appreciate it. So we've had a great year, but it's been tough also. And we know that. We know it's been tough on you, your families, and we're hoping for a better 2023. I think in terms of projections going forward or predictions going forward, that the rumours of the death of the property market are greatly exaggerated. And what I mean by this is, yes, again, I'm not expecting the property market to fly off the handle next year or anything like that. But I do think that what we're going to see is two things. Number one, the property market in terms of the sales side will be flat. So I'm not expecting any rises in prices. Similarly, I'm not expecting any vast falls either, because there's just not the supply. What we're likely to see next year, I think, is a volume of flats coming to the market from buy-to-let investors that have decided to sell. But housing-wise, there's going to be a scarcity, and that scarcity will underpin prices. Now, on top of that, just flipping over to the rental side for a second, you probably know that rents have gone up meteorically just in the last couple of months. And I don't gloat about that. It's not great news, I know, for everybody. But the reality is, with interest rates up and landlord costs up, so those costs are being passed on to tenants. But what this also does, it has another underpinning factor in the property market, because as the rental yields go up, so properties become more attractive, even though interest rates have gone up, and that does discount that to some degree, of course. So what I think we're likely to see is a lower volume market on the sale side, less coming up, less available, and so a smaller market, if you will. And on the rental side, a real lack of stock and too many applicants chasing too few properties. And I really do think if there's one thing, and I've said many times, that we need to get hold of, it's that, because I think we're looming for a rental crisis here in the UK. And how do you keep employment, full employment in London, if people can't afford to actually rent here? So, you know, that's something that I think the government needs to address. How do you address it? Well, you up supply. The government aren't building or providing enough funds to build anymore, so that's unlikely to be the answer. The answer is going to be to incentivize those people in that can afford to invest in the sector in order that we build more homes to rent. That's the only answer, because the people most impacted by this are the ones that can least afford it, the tenants at the very bottom that have low incomes. So build more houses, guys, and if you can't do that, then instead of actually penalizing landlords for owning properties, you need to start incentivizing them to make sure that people see being a landlord as a worthwhile investment, something that they can do on a small scale. You know, a lot of people in the last few years got a lot of confidence in the housing market, especially since 1988 and the changes there to the housing law that allowed us to have short hold tenancies. But coming on to next year, with so many hurdles to jump through and more legislation coming, there's a real chance that there'll be a large volume of landlords exiting the sector, and it can ill afford it. And so we need to do something to redress that. And if there's one thing I would say to the Chancellor, it would be repeal Section 24 and think carefully about what you wish for in terms of EPC minimum requirements, because again, we're going to see another load of exits there come 2025 to 2029, depending on where you are in that cycle with the new energy requirements that are likely coming. So apart from that, hope you've had a great year. I know it's been tough on many of you. You know, many of us have suffered losses in our family. My condolences to you if you've gone out and found that situation for you and your family. And I know many people also are choosing whether to heat or eat. So it's not all great news. But what we can do is be thankful for the ones that are alive with us and hopefully celebrate well. So enjoy your Christmas. Have a fantastic new year. And we look forward to working with you then. Ciao.